Yeah.
So the second time, so that first time, the first night of the crusade, over 15,000 people came to the soccer field. And that was according to the folks that were, that they do, they measure those things. And literally saw thousands of people come to faith. The thing that sticks out in my mind more than anything, it started pouring down rain one night, and we all kind of just moved to the trees and shelter. 2,000 folks, about 1,500, 2,000 had come forward to receive Christ. And in the drenching rain, they did not move. And they stood there until they got prayed for and received Christ. And I just thought, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? So God is moving in Kenya. And he wants to do more. And he wants to take that spirit of what he's doing there in Kenya, that revival. He wants to bring it back here to us in America. I believe that. And I think the gospel is the center of that. So when I went back this time, he said, it's been 8 years, because every year I tried to go back, I was hindered. And so he said, some of those guys, a lot of those guys that came to Christ during that first crusade, the first time you were here, he said, they're pastors now, and they need training. They don't have access. Some of them are not necessarily educated, but they need foundational training where you come and love on them and share with them. So about 150 in February of this 2022, this past February, there were about 150 Christian leaders, 20 bishops, and about 30 pastors, and came together. So all together, for me, in the morning, my nephew and I, he's a dean of students from a historic university, and he was teaching on leadership. But in the morning, we would teach basic soteriology, regeneration, justification, sanctification, and they were eating it up. They loved it. I mean, I didn't try to make it complicated. I just tried to keep it straightforward with a translator. And he would talk about leadership and, the role of leadership, et cetera, and encourage them. And then afternoon, I would do a session on person-to-person evangelism. Then we climaxed and went out on Friday, about 100 people on the street sharing the gospel, and over 10 persons came to faith. Over 20 persons came to faith. About 10 new people came that Sunday that had never come to church at all. And they were like, we were flabbergasted. And when can we do this again? So that's what I'm attempting to do, is go back next February. And that's what we're hoping to do. And then meeting you at the GA and Barbara Jones and everybody getting very curious about it and interested in it. I thought, would it be great to have an African-American team of strong teaching leaders to go and participate, and some younger, better looking folks to hand the ball off to bridge that gap and expand this vision of being a world Christian in terms of the Black community.